Hello and welcome to Why Not Mint Money, and I'm Nilanjana Chakraborty from Mint's personal finance team. Today we're in conversation with Mr. Manoj Adlakha, who is the Senior Vice President and CEO of American Express India. Sir, thank you so much for being here and welcome. We'll start off by asking you about how the American Express has seen the landscape, the payments landscape and the credit card landscape in India change, because the company has been here in one form or the other for about 100 years.
Yep.
Is that right? Yeah. So how has that changed really?
So it's changed dramatically. We set up office in 1921, so you're absolutely right. It's close to 100 years. And from the time we set up an office, which was a travel office way back in 1921, today we have the largest employee workforce outside the United States with over 13,000 employees in India. And along the way, what we have done is we have had multitude of products and services that have got launched. What was also pretty significant to my mind was the fact that American Express actually pioneered the centers of excellence work. So we were in 1995, we created a center of excellence, which was then replicated by other countries where offshoring work for those countries was done in India. So it started off with finance, moved on to operations, and then moved to other things like risk and so on.
So basically the change that you're talking about, do you think it was a regulatory shift that happened, or is it also the mindset of customers that changed over this period?
You know, specifically on credit cards still, when you look at the GDP in India, the GDP is about $2.7 trillion. 60% of the GDP, which is about $1.5 trillion, that is what is called private consumption expenditure. And only 10% of that today, that's about $150 billion, is on credit or debit cards. So when you look at the total cash which is out there, India is predominantly a cash society. So 90% of the private consumption expenditure or 94% of the GDP is still cash. So the runway for growth is still very high. Two events have taken place over the last couple of years. One was demonetization, that was an event, as you know, which happened in 2016, and GST, goods and services tax. Both of them, and coupled with the fact that the government itself has pushed towards, and RBI, have pushed towards a less cash society. When you look at all these three factors and put them together, there has been a significant thrust and movement towards more usage on credit cards. So just to illustrate, just before demonetization, the total number of credit cards in circulation was 27 million. Today that number in 2 years has moved to 50 million. The number of point of sale terminals at that point in time was 1.4 million. Today it's more than 4 million. So that's the kind of growth that has been experienced in the payment ecosystem.
So I just want to ask, because Amex is present in so many, obviously, global markets also, what kind of difference is there between the Indian market and global markets? What works here that doesn't work elsewhere, or the other way around?
I think American Express, what works everywhere for us in every country that we operate in, is the premiumness. The brand resonates with the premium segment. And one of the fundamentals of that is our service, our vision. Our vision, which is a global vision, and that's the same vision that we have in India, is to provide the world's best customer experience every day. So that is the foundation. The tenets of our brand are around trust, security, and service. That has not changed. So that is something which the customers, more and more premium customers, they demand that, they expect that, and that is what we deliver day in, day out.
Right. Actually, taking up from that, the premium customers that you're talking about, do you think that HNIs, from what I understand, used to be sort of the demographic that Amex targeted all this time? And now, recently, you've launched a card targeted at millennials, the Smart Earn card. So what made that change happen? Why do you think that's an important segment now?
When you look at the millennials in India, let's start with today, 34% or a third of the Indian population is millennial. 47% of the workforce is millennials. This is a particular, strata within our overall target group who are going to grow as they I would not say that in the formative years, but as they take it forward, their expectations are going to be even higher than what they are today. They today also demand premium lifestyle, premium experiences. American Express, we believe, is well positioned to provide that. If there's one hurdle that comes in the way, is probably when a fee is charged. So this particular card, coming to that, is priced at a slightly lower entry threshold, wherein we get the customers in, get these millennials in, let them experience the product. And that is what we are really seeing. And it's very early days for this product, but the take-up has been absolutely fantastic. And the other piece I would add to that is, they're they're digital natives. So every form and manner in which they're engaging with us, right from the time they apply to us, which is digital, to the way, the key offers on this product are all about, with 4 or 5 leading online, websites. It's about membership rewards, which are multipliers. For them, that is core to the value proposition. And the way they transact with us also, 90% of them do not want to pick up the phone and call and speak to a, service center rep. They would rather transact with us online. So it just fits in very well.
Right. So this is actually facing the digital payments end of it more than points of sale, which is actually interesting because there are still points of sale where Amex has not accepted. Visa or MasterCard actually have the basic, that chunk of, people will say Visa and MasterCard are accepted everywhere, and you might be turned away from a point of sale because it's an Amex. So how do you intend to bridge that gap?
If I was sitting here maybe 3 years ago, I would have agreed totally. I do not agree with that. And for the simple reason that when I look at what we have done in the last 3 years alone, we have added, in the last 3 years, 5 times the number of merchants we had in 3 decades prior to that. In the last 3 years alone, in India, we've added 600,000 new merchants. So the number of merchants is not an issue, right? It's a journey we are on. Of course, we would like to have many more merchants, but we believe the journey and the strategy that we have set for ourselves, we are well on our way to achieve that.
So coming back to the millennial card, basically, there are other cards that are coming into the market also specifically targeted at millennials. HDFC has the Millennia card that they have launched recently, which is also supposed to cater to the same audience. And in some cases, the cards don't come with a charge. Amex does, even if it's a very nominal charge. So do you think that you're missing out on a certain section of people who don't want to pay anything extra for that card?
We cannot look at the fee, like you said, charge. It's really the fee that you're charging a card member. The fee is a very nominal fee. So just on this particular card that we've launched, it's a 500 rupee fee product. And within that 500 rupee fee, that 500 fee is given back for a certain amount of behavior, which is spending an X amount that you have to do. So effectively it's free. And then if you spend 40,000 rupees, which is really 3,000 rupees a month, every year the card is free for life. So effectively there's no fee charge. And I'm not here to compare with competitors, but on the top of it, you get the kind of service backbone that American Express provides is absolutely amazing.
So I just want you to elaborate on that, the service backbone that you have and the reward point system that you have, which is so famous. Amex is known for the reward points. Just tell me a little bit about what people can stand to sort of expect if they become an Amex member holder.
So it varies from product to product, right? And I'm talking about the reward points. So as an example, we have, various products. We are the only ones, by the way, in the market who have something called a charge card. A charge card is a card which has no preset spending limit. So unlike any other credit card where there are limits assigned, in a charge card, there are no limits assigned. We look at past spending pattern and repayment pattern, basis which we let people spend up to whatever, the amount they would like to. And we have some very high spenders on the charge card. The services vary, like I said, depending on product to product. Our products are very customized, right? So we basically, when we look at products, it's all about what are the experiences that we are providing, what are the privileges that we are providing on each product. And rewards specifically, the rewards earn rate is also different from, from product to product. And the point, the product we just spoke about, which is called the Smart Earn product. In that product, in certain, at least 6 or 7 of the websites, there are, so if you were to get an X regular points, it's a 5X or 10X, depending on which website you go to.
So I think we've gone over the really serious questions. On a lighter note, I'll just ask you some personal questions. Tell me what your favorite book is.
I would go with The Godfather.
Do you like the movies as much?
I loved it. I think that's probably one movie I've seen more than a couple of times.
What's a gadget that you absolutely can't do without?
We've spoken so much about millennials, and I wish I could give you an answer, something other than that, but yes, it's my iPhone.
Okay. Do you have a money mantra of investing? Saving?
You need to have money to have a money mantra, but SIPs, I believe, are the best.
So just one last thing. What is your favorite thing on your desk?
The favorite thing on my desk actually is, it's interesting you asked that. I wish I were more organized than what I am. I really am not that organized. So what I make sure happens every day is I have a calendar, and which is a calendar meeting. I'm trying to reduce or minimize the number of meetings that we have as a team. That's always the right thing to do. And the second is the to-do list. I feel very good when I finish my day, which I try and finish early because, like I said, I get home at 6 by 6:30 for my dinner. So I try and finish the day early. And if I have a tick on almost everything, right? That's the best thing I can leave the day or leave the office with.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. It's been a pleasure conversing with you. That's all for now from us at Why Not Mint Money. Keep watching for more.